This miracle occurred in 595 AD. Among the most important works in which this Eucharistic miracle is mentioned is Vita Beati Gregori Papae, written by Deacon Paul in 787 AD. It was customary in those times to have the Eucharist bread prepared by the parishioners. Pope St. Gregory the Great was a direct eyewitness to this miracle. One Sunday, while celebrating the sacred Mass in an ancient church dedicated to St. Peter, the Pope was distributing communion and saw among the faithful in line one of the women who had prepared the bread for the consecration, and she was laughing out loud. Troubled, the Pope cornered her and asked her to explain her behavior. She justified herself by saying that she could not believe that the bread she made with her very own hands could become the body and blood of Christ during the consecration. St. Gregory denied her communion and asked God to illuminate her. Having just finished praying for her, he saw that the part of the bread prepared by the woman became flesh and blood. The woman repented, knelt on the ground, and began to cry. To this day, part of the relic of this miracle is housed in Andex, Germany, in the local Benedictine monastery. The authentication took place in Rome in 595 AD during a Eucharistic celebration presided by Pope St. Gregory the Great. Before long, artists seemed to go wild with their imaginations depicting this miracle. The small host that the woman laughed at, before long in paintings, became the approximate shape of a finger, later a whole arm, and then a small version of Christ's body. Part 2. This Eucharistic miracle took place in the 6th century, sometime before the first miracle. The Masses of St. Pope Gregory for the souls of Purgatory. This story is only hinted at in two of the images presented by Blessed Carlo Acutis from Miracle Number 1. There are quite a few paintings of this event, and most artists elect to use the traditional style of depicting Christ from the waist up, emerging symbolically from a stone crypt. The original story does not mention a vision of any kind at any of the 30 Masses said for justice, and it seems that the artists of the day went wild with their imaginations. So before he came Holy Father, Pope St. Gregory the Great, who reigned from 590 to 604 AD, had a drawn-out encounter that led to what we know as Gregorian Masses for the dead. And you may have heard of the Gregorian chant for the dead, 30 Masses in a row for the purposes of the soul for whom they were offered. In his Dialogues, Book 4, Gregory described in great detail the events that led to the Masses. At the monastery he founded, a monk named Justus became ill and was dying. Justus perceived himself past all hope of life, told his brother named Copiosus, of his secret treasury of coins, where he had secretly laid up 3 crowns of gold, Gregory noted. The monks were told, and carefully seeking and tossing up all of his medicines and boxes, found in one of them these 3 gold crowns that were hidden. Gregory related that he could not quietly digest so great a sin at his hands because Justus had broken the rule of the monastery. Being therefore much troubled and grieved at what happened, wrote Gregory, I began to think with myself what was best to do, both for the soul of him that was now dying and also for the edification and example of those who were yet living. The punishment for both goals began with the monks not being allowed to visit or to comfort Justus in any way because of the gold crowns he had hidden from them for himself. The intention was that, at least before his death, sorrow would wound his heart and purge from it the sin committed, Gregory explained. His body wasn't to be buried with the other monks. He was to be buried with the coins, withal crying out with a joint voice, Thy money be with thee unto perdition, and so put earth upon him. Gregory's aim and desire was both to help him that was leaving this world and also to edify the monks yet remaining behind, that both grief of death might make him pardonable for his sins, and such a severe sentence against avarice might terrify and preserve them from like offense. It worked. Copiosus told his brother Justus the reason why the monks could not visit him. Justus immediately repented. The other monks checked their own selves. It was not long, however, before Justus passed from this earth. Gregory wrote, 30 days after his departure, I began to take compassion upon him, and with great grief to think of his punishment and what means there was to help him. He told the monastery's prior, It is now a good while since our brother, which is departed, has remained in the torments of fire, and therefore we must show him some charity, so that we may procure his delivery to heaven. Gregory ordered that for 30 days Holy Mass was to be offered for Justus, so that not one day pass in which for his absolution and discharge the healthful sacrifice be not offered. Later Justus appeared to his brother Copiosus and told him, Hitherto I have been in bad case, but now I am well, for this day I have received the communion. He was out of purgatory now, and able to enter heaven. Copiosus hastened to tell the other monks. Gregory confirmed that they diligently counted the days and found that it was the 30th sacrifice that was offered for his soul. And so, though neither Copiosus knew what the monks had done for him, nor they what they had seen concerning the state of his brother, yet at one and the same both knew what they had done, and they what he had seen. And so the sacrifice and vision agreeing together, apparently it was that the dead monk was by the holy sacrifice survived, delivered from his pains. So we need to take a lesson from this story. We may never see or hear a holy soul from purgatory, but we can learn what to do from the encounters that saints experience. Have Mass said for the holy souls there, our family, our friends, those abandoned. In relation to what Jesus told St. Faustina, offer up an annoyance without complaining, like standing in a long line of traffic or at the supermarket. Pray a rosary for them. Say short prayers like, Jesus, have mercy on the souls in purgatory. Remember what we heard growing up. Offer it up for the holy souls in purgatory.